I mean, and granted, I grew up as a rival to Nebraska. I cannot imagine what your fan base would be like if you put together a season where you were in the race for the CFP in November. Like, Memorial Stadium I've played there. I've felt it there, even when it was good. I know what that feels like. I can't imagine what your fan base would be like.
Well, here's what I'll say. Here's my confidence level. That's going to happen. It's whether it's this year, the next year, what year it's going to be. But the thing that I always go back to, again, just trying to be a very grateful person, is they deserve that, because they've shown up when we're 3-9. They've shown up when we're 4-8. Like, we were 0-2 this year. We lost to Minnesota and lost to Colorado, and I'm still down about those 2 games. I'm trying to be very focused on what's next, and I show up to the game, and it's like the inspiration you felt from that crowd for a Northern Illinois night game. They were there for the entire warm-up. And you were like, man, we better put together a good team. Like, all these little kids running around, there's 5,000 little kids that want to shake your hand as you're walking out to the field. Like, they need to grow up. The best parts of the game can't be meeting the players.
Yeah.
It's got to be championship caliber football. So that will happen. To me, it's a matter of when. And I sure hope it's this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of us that think that it could happen this year. That Colorado-Nebraska game, you mentioned it from a year ago. Now it's going to be in your place, and with everything surrounding their program, because, man, there's a lot of energy, obviously, at Colorado, and a lot of eyeballs on Colorado, and that's obviously what Coach Prime has brought there. But now all of a sudden that game is a monster, almost like it used to be when Colorado and Nebraska would play Friday after Thanksgiving, and it would be for the division or for the Big 8, right to go to the Orange Bowl. That's how I grew up with it. I mean, it was a classic, and for the first time in a long time, it feels like both programs have high expectations, and that game early in the season is a monster game.
Yeah, it's I think the one thing that we always have to remember when we talk about Colorado is how great Shedeur is. He is one of the best football players I've ever coached against. And, we blitzed him. I think we sacked him like 10 times. And we hit him a ton. And he stood in there. And so, I know everyone sees, Shedeur on commercials. They see him, they see the swagger that he plays with. But he's an unbelievable competitor. And he's tough. And so, to me, you take, Shedeur, you take, Travis Hunter, you take all the players that they have, you take, obviously, Coach Sanders, they're going to come into our place. They're a really good football team with dynamic players that you have to compete with. I mean, how good is it for, like, that part of the country to have this game and have it be national TV at night? Like, how good is it for the game of football? Like, I just don't want football to become like, this area of the country, this area of the country. I want it to be from coast to coast.
Yeah.
I want all 50 states. And what Deion has done, in my opinion, is he's made football relevant to maybe people that weren't watching it. And so it's our chance to kind of come into that game, and people are going to tune in to see them.
Yeah.
And they'll have a chance to watch us too. And if we play well, maybe people will have that same energy about us nationally that they have about them.
Last thing I want to kind of chat about is I think that experiences in life are how we grow. In a lot of ways, I've grown the most in my life, both personally and professionally, and even going back when I was a player, through failure.
Mm-hmm.
What did you learn at Carolina and in your experience in the NFL?
I'd say I learned a lot. I'd say I learned a lot of things. I would not be able to be the head coach of Nebraska had I gone through that. Every decision you make is magnified in Nebraska 10 times over. And if you're not really confident in who you are, I could see it really affecting you. I could see you, compromising. I have such a different relationship with our players now. When I'm able to tell them, because this generation is so concerned with how people see them, and for me, I've been national coach of the year. I've been hopefully we can have him be our coach. I've been a meme and laughed at on SportsCenter, and as Rudyard Kipling says, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters the same. And so I've been able to teach my own kids that. When I go out there now and the crowd's cheering, I've also had 50,000, 70,000 people in Panther Stadium screaming to fire me. And what I learned through all of that is, man, I just want to make it about my players. It's not about me. Coaches say that, but they mean it is about them. It's really not about me. Like, I came back to college football because I knew young people needed coaches that cared about them, coaches that don't want to throw them away, coaches that don't want to give up on them, coaches that want to make a environment where they can be safe to have failures but grow. And if I learned anything during that time there, it was Christian McCaffrey, Brian Byrne, all these amazing players I had a chance to coach. They're just people. You know, you see them as superstars, but they're just people. And so I lost a little bit of that during COVID. One of the worst things I did is early on there, you know, you go in to be a head coach, you don't know anybody, COVID hits. And then when it kind of came back, I didn't connect enough. And then my last year, I did an amazing job, I think, of connecting with a lot of those players. And they battled for me to the very end. But I come back to college now, and I'm like, it's all about human connection. Because the portal, and everyone will tell you, like, it's just a business. It's not a business. It's not. It's college football. These players, they need a coach that believes in them. Bad teams need a good coach. You know, there's so many things that I learned in my time in Carolina. But if anything, it was have connections with the players. And you know what? Lead them through good times and bad. Don't worry about what people say about you. Don't just worry about, am I doing the right thing for our guys to win? And so those experiences, I'm so grateful for them. I'm so grateful that I went to Carolina. I'm so grateful for what it did for my family because we are so much closer now. I'm so much closer with my players now. And that's why I believe Nebraska will win. And you know what? We'll win and people will be like, Coach, are you going to go here? Are you going to go there? Da, 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 da. And no, I love Nebraska. And I love the people there. And I love my players because for the first time, they're not the players, they're my players. And I love these guys. And just that time in Carolina maybe reborn that to me. And that's why I'm so happy to be back in college football.
I think this is the first time in my life that I've ever wanted to be a Husker after that speech right there.
Bro, we could use you. We honestly could use you.
No, you're in better hands at that position than you would be with me.
Thank you for watching the Joel Klatt Show YouTube channel. And if you liked this clip, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel. And you can stay up to date on all of my college football coverage.